Telling your friends how awesome Stoic philosophy is the last thing they'd want to hear. Yet high-performing people like Tim Ferriss consider Stoicism to be their operating system. It was practiced 2,000 years ago by Romans in pursuit of the good life. But Stoicism is attracting more attention in the modern world. Today, it's practiced by hedge fund managers, athletes, artists, and executives. So what is Stoicism? The author Ryan says, "The philosophy asserts that virtue, meaning chiefly the four cardinal virtues of self-control, courage, justice, and wisdom, is happiness, and it is our perceptions of things, rather than the things themselves, that cause most of our troubles." Stoicism teaches us that we can't control or rely on anything outside what Epictetus called our reasoned choice, our ability to use our reason to choose how we categorize, respond, and reorient ourselves to external events. So you know when you have to be somewhere on time, but you can't find your car keys? It sucks, right? Well, Stoicism says that it's not losing your car keys that sucks. It's how you perceive and react to it that makes it suck. The rest of the book contains 366 little lessons. They repeat themselves, so I've nailed them down to the 12 most valuable lessons. Lesson 2. Direct your efforts. Law 29 of the 48 Laws of Power is plan all the way to the end. And the second habit in the 7 habits of highly effective people is begin with the end in mind. I went to primary school, high school, then university. But once I dropped out, I was like, now what? Coming into my early 20s, I've realized that I go insane if I don't have something to work towards. By having no direction, Ryan says, and so you are driven into failure, or worse, into madness by the oblivion of directionlessness. Some of you may be sitting there thinking, well Brandon, I have no idea where to direct my efforts. Well hey, sometimes I don't either, but you'll feel better choosing anything rather than lying on your bed and letting bad thoughts swirl around in your head. Lesson 3 is know thyself. Each night, the Stoics would often reflect on themselves. They ask questions like, who am I? What's important to me? What do I like? Everyone's different. Knowing what makes you happy or sad, or your strengths and weaknesses, allows you to live a better life. Through self-reflection, I found that I'm not a maths person. At school and university, I learned to code in Java, but I never enjoyed it. But I love editing videos, so that's what I do. Lesson 4 is change your expectations. Seneca said, no person has the power to have everything they want, but it is in their power not to want what they don't have, and to cheerfully put to good use what they do have. You may expect your relationship to be romantic all the time, that winning a game of Hearthstone will make you happy. But if your partner gets angry or you lose a game, then you've set yourself up for disappointment. Instead, you can expect this to happen and accept it for what it is. As grim as it sounds, the Stoics say by wanting nothing, we can have everything. Lesson 5 is to expect the unexpected. You might lose your job, get kicked out of home, or lose a friend. Life happens. These are things you can't control, but you can control your opinion, choice, and desire. Everything of your own doing. So you might be thinking, well, if I lose my job, I'm screwed. How will I pay the rent and for my Netflix subscription? Sure, I get it. But the Stoic realizes that reacting this way is pointless. Is complaining and frolicking about it really going to solve anything? Moving on to lesson 6, nothing is inherently good or bad. If someone sends you an angry email but you never see it, did it actually happen? It requires your participation in order for it to be bad. So really, it's our reaction that decides what's good or bad. Let's take alcohol for example. Is it good or bad? Some see having a few beers as a harmless activity, a nice way to relax and socialize with friends. But others see alcohol as the devil. Like anything in the world, alcohol isn't inherently bad, it's how you choose to perceive it. Lesson 7. Dealing with haters. So running this channel, I've inevitably received hate messages. It happens to all of us. The Stoic does 2 things when they encounter hate. They ask, is this opinion inside my control? If there is a chance for influence, they take it. If not, they accept the person as they are and don't hate back. I tend to follow the second option. I'd rather not expend my precious time and energy trying to influence someone who shows disrespect. Lesson 8. Your actual needs are small. I traveled to a remote village recently. There were 106 people. They had simple wood cabins and no electricity, but they were happy. You might get a temporary high when you get that better computer or faster internet, but soon it will start to feel like the norm again. We don't need as much as we think. The 9th lesson is to not get mad. You know that guy who chews loudly or reeks of body odor? It's funny that we grind our teeth and feel hate whirl up inside of us instead of politely telling them to do something about it. We'd rather feel bitter instead of risking an awkward conversation that might actually make this world a better place. Marcus Aurelius says, "If the person will listen, you will have cured them without useless anger. No drama nor unseemly show required." Lesson 10. Complaining is futile. I think we all have that friend who bitches about her friends not hanging out with her, that she's behind on her homework, and that her car broke down on the way to university this morning. Complaining accomplishes nothing except puts yourself and others in a negative state of mind. Complain less, appreciate more. Lesson 11. Attachments are the enemy. According to Anthony de Mello, there is only one thing that causes unhappiness. The name of that thing is attachment. Attachment to a certain lifestyle, person, place, or thing. All of these are outside of our control. We must adapt or die. I recommend watching my summary of Who Moved My Cheese. I'll leave a link in the description below. Lesson 12. Life is long if you know how to use it. I'm sure you've heard the saying, life is short. But is that true? Marcus said, "You aren't bothered, are you, because you weigh a certain amount and not twice as much? So why get worked up that you've been given a certain lifespan and not more? Just as you are satisfied with your normal weight, so you should be with the time you've been given." It's not that our lives are short, it's that we don't make good use of it. Complaining, working a crappy job, and settling for less makes a short life. A long life is one in which you develop yourself, be kind, and do what you love on a daily basis. The final lesson, the big three. The following passage is Stoicism in a nutshell. Marcus said, "All you need are these: certainty of judgment in the present moment, action for the common good in the present moment, and an attitude of gratitude in the present moment for anything that comes your way." This means control your perceptions, direct your actions properly, and willingly accept what's outside your control. Before I go, I'd like to remind you that I'm launching an online book club for us next year. The first book we will read is The Story of the Human Body by Daniel Lieberman. It shows how our bodies aren't adapted to our current lifestyles and how we can make positive change. I aim to have the website up on the 1st of December at OnePercentBookClub.com. I've added 10 free books for people who sign up, and we'll also be running free book giveaways from time to time. Now let's review the 13 lessons we covered in this video. What is Stoicism? Direct your efforts. Know thyself. Change your expectations. Expect the unexpected. Nothing is inherently good or bad. Your actual needs are small. Dealing with haters. Don't get mad. Complaining is futile. Attachments are the enemy. Life is long if you know how to use it. And the big three.